Previously, in a world ruled by magic, Mash was an anomaly, lacking any magical abilities despite his impressive physical strength. Society rejected him for his difference, but Mash refused to let that define him. He struck a deal with Brad, a powerful mage, to become the chosen one in the most prestigious school of magic in the country. In a stunning display during the duelo match, Mash amazes the audience and sets a new world record. His performance captures the attention of Lance, a highly skilled double-line magic user who challenges Mash to a duel with Mash's friends as the stakes. Despite Lance's impressive abilities and sneaky tactics, Mash shatters his opponent's spells and emerges victorious, earning himself another silver coin and freeing his friends from their wager. Now, at the Eastern Magic Academy, the students are sorted into 3 dormitories based on their unique character traits. The Adler dorm is reserved for the brave and dedicated, while the Orca dorm is home to those who value wisdom and are eager to learn. The Lang dorm is designated for the most talented and ambitious students. The dormitories are known to have a healthy rivalry with one another, each striving to be the best. In room 302 of the Adler dorm, Mash is trying to convert his silver coins to gold but is struggling with the math. Finn offers his help and explains that Mash only needs 3 more coins, but Mash is having trouble understanding. Despite the lack of activity, Finn suddenly remembers their pending assignment, causing him to panic while Mash remains nonchalant. Mash offers Finn a cream puff, but it does little to ease his worries. In the midst of their discussion, Lance enters the room and Mash calls him a lolicon, to which he responds that he is a siskin. Lance notices that the 2 slackers haven't finished their assignment yet, while he completed it immediately. Finn is impressed with his dedication to their dorm's reputation. Suddenly, Mash shows Lance a necklace with Anna's picture on it. Lance is taken aback by the adorable photo of his sister and is so mesmerized that he falls backwards, hitting his head and losing consciousness. Later, in the dorm's kitchen, Lance offers to help them with their potion assignment. They need to silence the Mandragora, a tricky task that Lance can accomplish with ease, but Finn struggles with his Quintus magic, prompting Mash to remark that it was likely due to his weak muscle core. When it was Mash's turn to try, the creature only grew more enraged, causing Finn to worry. Fortunately, Lance stepped in and offered some helpful advice. This time, Finn chanted slowly and successfully calmed the Mandragora. He felt grateful towards Lance for the help. However, when they turned to check on Mash's progress, they found the giant Mandragora thrashing around uncontrollably, causing destruction. Mash deftly dodged the creature's attacks and eventually managed to subdue it with a powerful slap. With the creature finally calmed, Lance proceeded to demonstrate the next step of the process by slicing it into pieces. As they moved on to the next phase of creating the potion, Lance expertly tossed the heated pan and added a crucial ingredient with a serious expression. Finn struggled with the process, but Mash was surprisingly confident. He attempted to make the dish, but to everyone's surprise, he ended up with a cream puff. Undeterred, Mash tried again, this time with Lance guiding him step by step. However, even with Lance's careful instructions, Mash still ended up with another cream puff. Lance was perplexed and declared that Mash was only useful for fighting. Lance removes his headband and declares that he won't lose to Mash next time. He confides that he has a secret reason for wanting to join the Bureau, which he doesn't want Mash to know. Frustrated, he warns Mash not to let anyone steal his coins, to which Mash assures him it won't happen. Lance puts the headband back on, and they resume making the potion. Meanwhile, Headmaster Wahlberg remembers the upcoming off-campus class for all the dorms and worries about Mash. A group of students are chatting when a red-haired guy bumps into them, making them angry. They confront him, but he quickly beats them up and leaves them injured. In a dark place, a mysterious meeting is taking place where the leader asks his followers what traits a ruler should have. When they answer with traits like nobility, bloodline, and overwhelming power, the leader drops the coins and declares that they, the Line Dorm, are the true rulers. They plan to take back the coins from Adler. In kitchen, Mash failed again and ended up making cream puff again, but this time it is made of Mandragora flavor. However, Finn doubts the deliciousness of the cream puff made from the Mandragora, despite how tasty it looks. The following day, Mash and his companions gathered outside and Mash thought they were going to go camping. However, Lance reminded them that they wouldn't be camping. Suddenly, they heard a loud voice claiming to be number 1, and they saw Dot, the red-haired guide, declaring himself the protagonist. The 3 felt uneasy around him, and Dot immediately recognized Mash, referring to him as a side character. Lemon interrupted, running over to Mash and reminding him to take care while Dot watched. Lemon invited Mash to join her, but Dot suddenly spat on his face. Mash was bewildered, but he didn't make a fuss. Dot complained that Mash was getting attention from a girl and ranted about the supposedly equal ratio of men and women. He then blamed Mash for the lower birth rate, claiming that it is because of people like Mash that no woman likes him. Dot declared that he joined the Magic Bureau to eliminate hot guys, but noticing that they were not listening, he yelled at them again. Suddenly, the professor appeared, silencing them. He explained the upcoming exercise between Adler and Lang Dorm. The task was to exterminate the scorpions and collect the stones on their foreheads. He explains that the normal scorpions will yield bronze coins, while the stronger ones will give silver coins. He He urges the students to head out and find the scorpions. Dot eagerly leaves, followed by Lance, who is determined to get a silver coin. A whistle echoes through the woods, and suddenly a student appears behind Mash, accusing him of being arrogant and looking down on others. Without warning, the student sends a pillar flying at Mash. The teacher notices and warns the student to stop, but he insists that they're just playing around and tries to pressure Mash to agree with him. Mash glares at him, ready to crush the bully once and for all. After the altercation, Mash gets up and is stopped by Lance, who warns him about the infamous second-year student who has a history of injuring teachers and students. Lance explains that the student's magic is indispensable, so he hasn't been expelled, and that they're common in the line dorm. To Lance's surprise, Mash is more concerned about his cream puff than the bully. As they enter the woods, Lance suggests they work together, but Mash becomes distracted and realizes he's alone. Meanwhile, Dot is frantically searching for scorpions and is determined to beat Mash to finding a silver coin. When he sees Mash, he jumps up in shock and can't stop screaming, so Mash slaps him to snap him out of it. Dot's demeanor turns serious as he challenged Mash to a duel, but their confrontation was cut short by a scream. A male student was arguing with a girl and threatening to attack her. The girl called for help, and moments later, an explosion erupted. When the dust cleared, the guy was on his knees, defeated by Dot, who was now uttering some cool words. The girl wanted to thank Dot, but he was too awestruck to respond. He tried to play it cool, but the girl grabbed his hand and praised his strength. Dot couldn't contain his excitement any longer. Scene changes and we see after defeating the scorpion and obtaining the stone, the second year proceeded with his plans. As the three rested, the girl approached Dot to thank him again. Their knees touches each other, which causes Dot to struggle to keep his cool, but ultimately failed. The girl called him a freak, but quickly covered it up by claiming she said fantastic instead. Dot didn't believe her at first, but she used her charm to convince him otherwise. Unbeknownst to Dot, the girl was actually using magic to ensnare him. She then turned her attention to Mash, thanking him as well. However, Mash wasn't affected by her magic. The girl was left in distress as she realized her charms weren't working. Trying to change the subject, tears streamed down her face as she cried. Dot asked if something was bothering her and the girl shared her troubles. The girl revealed that she was being threatened by the second year, Silva. He wanted her to use a magic only she could perform, but she didn't want to help him. She expressed her regret for burdening Dot with her problems, but he reassured her that he would defeat Silva and he was determined to do it. Suddenly, they heard Silva's approach and the three quickly evaded his attack. Silva approached the trio, he whistles and taunted them about him being defeated. He grinned maniacally, but Dot was already casting an explosion. A small explosion erupted and Dot followed it up with a more powerful explosion directed at Silva. Dot taunted Silva to die, while Mash was nonchalantly munching on his cream puff. On the other end of the forest, we see the frightened Finn and Lemon pestering Lance not to leave them alone in the forest, but Lance was in deep thought wondering if Mash was safe. Dot thought it was all over, but Silva reappeared unscathed. Silva launched an attack on Dot, dealing him a critical hit, but a piece of debris hit Mash's cream puff. Silva kept taunting Dot about defeating him, whereas Mash was in complete disbelief due to his fallen cream puff. This brings an end to our episode. Don't forget to subscribe our channel, Annie Explainer.